This thesis is the result of a personal experience. I had the opportunity to confront myself and collide with stereotypes which obstructed my mind towards the German culture and vice versa. So my work originated from this. In Italian, I will talk about stereotypes and prejudice from a psychological point of view. In English, I will talk about the relation between Italy and Germany. In German, I will talk about cultural differences and similarities, and I will finish my speech with a small conclusion in Italian. The term stereotype derives from the Greek word stereos, solid, and typos, impression, hence solid impression on one or more idea. In psychology, stereotype is a fixed or generalized belief about a particular group of class or people. The use of stereotypes is a major way in which we simplify our social world, since they reduce the amount of processing we have to do when we meet a new person. This attitude is generally shared by a group of people in-group towards another one called out-group. Prejudice is an unjustified or incorrect attitude, usually negative, towards an individual based solely on the individual's memberships of a social group. It refers to unfounded beliefs and may include any unreasonable attitude that is unusually resistant to rational influence. Stereotypes and prejudices have social roots, so they have a great influence on individuals. We tend to use them where we have a lack of knowledge regarding whom stands in front of us, because we look the other cultures with the eyes of our culture, and because our mind is scared by everything that does not know, because it can't be categorized. The ability consists in knowing that stereotypes and prejudices exist and that their function is not only to help our mind but also to recognize that sometimes this process can be misleading. Generalization produces strict categories. Instead, the encounter of different cultures is always a meeting between people, so that's unique. Moreover, it is important to foster the contact between different groups of people to boost the knowledge regarding whom stands in front of us and to open our minds. Green has the hope for a better world. White has the goodness of the intentions. Red has the blood of our heroes in war. Black has the conditions experienced by the population. Red has the blood in war. Gold has the desired liberty. They both have the tricolor, and even if they have different stripes, their flags share a common meaning, the remembrance of a violent and hard past and the hope for a better future. The historic connection between Italy and Germany has always been delicate, since they enjoyed a special relationship fighting together against the Austrian Empire until arriving to the betrayal of the armistice. Then, a little of skepticism and diffidence have been growing up, as shown in an historical cover of Der Spiegel, which drew Italy with a gun on a spaghetti course. We summarize the relation between these two countries in the phrase Germans love Italians, but they do not esteem them. Italians esteem Germans, but they do not love them. The key words of this love are undoubtedly son, spaghetti, pizza, ti amo, and so on. Germans also love the Italian way of life. The ordinary Italian is for them spontaneous, pleasant, cheerful, and full of life and fantasy. But they do not esteem them, because Italians are known to be unreliable for the fact that often they cheat tourists, above all Germans. On the other hand, Italians esteem Germans because in Germany everything works. Trains are always on time, people respect the rules, red lights, and they pay taxes. But they do not love them because for them it is impossible to conceive how they can live in such a rigid and uncompromising way, Italian says. They say that German language mirrors the organization of the German society. Nothing is left to chance. For example, you can't just go somewhere how? By train, by bus, by car, on foot. The German language does not allow errors. Who do not understand the difference between exit on foot, Ausgang, and exit by car, Ausfahrt, run to risk of going with the car in a flight of stairs. What should we know? We are more similar than we thought we would be, and less different than we would have imagined. Are Germans cold and strict? False. In Italy, we used to go out for a coffee. In German, they used to go out for a beer. Beer, as well as coffee, are not only a beverage, but they are the main social link, an excuse to spend time with another person. To offer is a gesture of respect, and to accept an offer means to reciprocate that respect. Therefore, a refusal can be considered impolite. But sometimes this can lead to misunderstandings. In Italy, the chrysanthemum are funeral flowers. Instead, in Germany, are used as normal flowers, also for marriages. What about greetings? In Italy, both if you already know a person and if you are just seeing this person for the first time, it is used to greet with 2 kisses on the cheek and, if necessary, an handshake. Instead, in Germany, they do not use to greet with 2 kisses on the cheek, but they use an handshake or a little hug. They also use 1 kiss on the cheek, but only between close friends. In the south of Germany, to take off the shoes is a natural gesture which is a sign of respect and relax, a way to get undressed from the daily stress. But in Italy there is not this custom, so the ordinary Italian would be surprised to see at the entrance of a German house a shoe rack to let the shoes and pick up the slippers. The automotive industry in Germany is the main industry, and perhaps it is for this reason that Germans care a lot about their cars, the so-called Das Auto, literally the car. They are also well known to drive them as better as they can. Instead, according to some surveys, Italian drivers seems to be the worst in Europe. Right and left overtaking, excessive use of the udder, insults out of the windows, and so on. This could be shocking in the eyes of Germans. We have analyzed similarities and differences between Germany and Italy, verifying that they mostly depend on daily life habits rather than cultural gaps. So, the aim of this work is to make people aware that opening our minds and our hearts, we can appreciate who is different from us, and why not, we can esteem them.